Carson Wentz has been traded to the Indianapolis Colts. Not a happy camper right now, ladies and gentlemen. I have so much to say about this. Where do I even begin? I don't know where to start. Actually, you know what? Let's start with the 2019 season, not 2017. I want to go back to 2019. So throughout that season, the Eagles suffered several injuries to key players, such as Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, Jordan Howard. I could go on for a long time with this. We were coming off an embarrassing loss to the Miami Dolphins in a game where our defense was absolutely atrocious. We lost 37-31 to a Ryan Fitzpatrick-led Dolphins team that had only won 2 games all season. This was week 13. After that defeat, the Eagles were left sitting at 5-7 with a bunch of practice squad no-name backup players like Greg Ward and Boston Scott. The Eagles looked dead in the water. Finished. Done. No playoffs. Like, you're done. Stick a fork in them. And what did Carson Wentz do? How did Carson Wentz respond to this kind of adversity? We had 4 games left in the season. 4 must-win games. But not just any 4 must-win games. These were 4 must-win games against division rivals. New York Giants, at Washington Redskins, Dallas Cowboys, at New York Giants. You have to win all 4 of those games. If you lose a single one, you're out of the playoffs. You're eliminated. And what did Carson Wentz do? Carson Wentz put the team on his back, and he went 4-0. He won all 4 games. The Eagles won the NFC East with a 9-7 record after sitting at 5-7 just weeks before. We went into the playoff game against the Seattle Seahawks, and Carson Wentz was cheap-shotted with a dirty hit by some guy named Jadeveon Clowney! Left the game in the first quarter, and we eventually lost. So that brings me to the 2020 draft. After all that heroism from Wentz in 2019, after he fought so hard to get us back into playoff contention, and he succeeded, what does Howie Roseman do? Howie Roseman drafts Jalen Hurts, a quarterback, in the 2nd round. Howie Roseman, why in the world? Why would you draft a quarterback in the 2nd round after paying Wentz $128 million? 128. You clearly think Wentz is the franchise quarterback because you gave him all that money, and then you draft a quarterback in the 2nd round. I don't understand this. Listen. No disrespect to Jalen Hurts. I don't have anything against Jalen Hurts personally. I thought he played pretty well against the Saints and Cardinals after Wentz got benched. But why was he drafted? That was a stupid idea. But I know Wentz was bad. Wentz was terrible in 2020. I accept that. Everybody accepts that. But still, that does not mean that Jalen Hurts was a good pick. Drafting Jalen Hurts, drafting a quarterback in the 2nd round after paying Carson Wentz that kind of money was a stupid idea. And now we're going to be eating $33 million in dead cap. We are forking up $33 million to a player that's not even going to be on the team anymore. I just don't understand this organization. I don't get some of you Eagles fans wanting to give up on Wentz, gave up on Wentz after one terrible season. I'll give you a neat statistic. Carson Wentz was sacked 50 times in 2020. 11 of those sacks were his fault, just 11 of those. 39 times he wasn't getting protected. 39 times the line just collapsed and he was getting walloped. Now, as bad as Wentz was, who's going to be good behind the line like that? You guys want to give up to him? You guys want to give up on Wentz after a year where we had 13 different combinations at O-line? I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. And listen, I don't believe in Jalen Hurts as a passer. I really don't. I don't believe in Jalen Hurts as a passing quarterback. In that Washington game in week 17, Jalen Hurts went 7 for 20 for just 72 yards passing through 3 quarters. That is awful. That is an awful statistic. Could you imagine if Wentz put up stats like that? Like, He looked awful against Washington. Admittedly, we were already eliminated from playoff contention. The game didn't matter for us anyway, but that is an awful stat. And admittedly, we were still in the game because he did score 2 rushing touchdowns, but if he's going to be, I just don't know about Jalen Hurts as a passer. I just don't know. Howie Roseman, this is all Howie Roseman's fault. He created conflict when there wasn't any need to. There was no point in drafting Jalen Hurts. Was it about being injury prone for Wentz? It wasn't a matter of being injury prone. Getting cheap shotted by a dirty hit, that could happen to anyone. That doesn't make you injury prone that you got knocked out by a helmet hit. It doesn't. So, and now here's what scares the crap out of me. This is what terrifies me. Now that we traded Carson Wentz, who's to say that Howie Roseman doesn't draft a quarterback at that number 6 pick? Honestly, I wouldn't put it past him. Who's to say that he doesn't do the same exact thing to Jalen Hurts? I'm terrified. I'm terrified for this team's future. And Howie Roseman, if he messes up this pick, if Howie Roseman picks a quarterback at number 6, I'm going to lose my mind. Carson Wentz, I'll always admire you for what you did in 2017. You went 11-2, and that played a huge role in us getting the number 1 seed. And to this day, I do not believe we would have reached the Super Bowl if we hadn't gotten that number 1 seed. I do not believe that we would have reached the Super Bowl if Nick Foles had been the starter for the majority of that season. This organization did you dirty, Wentz. After you put the team on your back in 2019, after you put the superhero cape on, they drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round. They disrespected you, Wentz. Now, Carson Wentz is not perfect. He holds on to the ball too long. He fumbles a lot. This year he threw a lot of interceptions, but not everything is his fault, man. And you know what I think? I think he's going to go to the Indianapolis Colts, and I think that he's going to be great. I think he's going to thrive. And then all of us Eagle fans, all of the Eagles organization, we're going to look completely stupid.